G'day, Jim here again. And common mistake number 3 is the wrong power source. So often I see people trying to get more power in their swing, and they're sort of basically turning their body inside out trying to get more power. And it doesn't matter, as long as their butt points to the ground, they're not going to get any more power if they're using the wrong power source. Now there's 3 types of power, you could say. One is muscular, the second is leverage, and the third is mechanical. Now what I mean by that is a bear uses muscular power. Now that's where I was talking before about a bear is going to use a lot of wrist motion. He's going to have a short snappy swing. He's going to have stocky forearms. He's going to have a shorter swing that's going to be a lot more snappy in the hands. So I'd call that muscular power. Now a giraffe uses leverage. What I mean by that, long limbs, is going to have a bigger arc. The club's coming from a lot higher down through the ball. Wider arc means more club head speed. Now a tiger is going to use more of a mechanical type of power. And what I mean by that, a tiger is that type of person that's going to have the ideal looking swing, if you like, or a textbook copy swing. They're going to use mechanical power through transferring the weight correctly and everything fitting in perfectly, coming down and impacting the ball, and combining that leverage power through their arm, the width of their arc, and the mechanics of the wrist motion working at the right time. They're the type of player that's going to see more of this position at impact and then hitting down into the ball. Now the other aspect that I see is that people have the power going in the wrong direction. Okay? Now, what I mean by that, if I took this stake here and I've just put a shaft in the ground, and if I was to turn this around and use it as a sledgehammer or some sort of a hammer and hit that shaft in the ground, I would have to go down and hit this in a straight line going down to transfer the energy from the hammerhead down into the shaft that would go into the ground. Whereas if I hit it on an angle like this, all I would do is knock that shaft over, or peg if you like. So what's really important is that we have the right direction as well. Now, how that relates to a golf swing, if we use this other shaft here and I've put that in the ground at the same angle that I would have with my 6-iron here, in this case at address, so as I go back, that angle is the same. Now, in terms of if I was to hit that shaft in the ground, and once again, if I used a hammer or sledgehammer, I would have to hit that shaft now on an angle and use my wrists and arms going up and down in this motion. As you can imagine, if I come down and hit it down this way, once again, the energy is not going to transfer from the club head or the hammerhead into the shaft, and therefore the shaft wouldn't go into the ground. Now the same as in the golf swing, that if I was to simply just turn around and come down, as I come down, well, I better get that right. So if I set up here that that's in line with my target line, as I go back, I'm going to be hitting down on that same angle where I'm transferring the energy from the club head into the ball, and therefore I'm going to be able to get maximum power. Now, whether we're a bear, a giraffe, or a tiger, this principle is always going to be the same. And using logic, just as that example, as we were hitting that shaft down into the ground, you can understand it's pretty simple to follow. So the biggest mistake I see is they're using the wrong power source, and that power source is not going in the right direction.